parents and caregivers, I wanted to share a easy way that you could bring some sensory materials into your home. This is a time of year that a lot of people start to spend less time outdoors. And when you think about how children are when they're outdoors, they like to fully immerse themselves, right? They like to go up to the puddle if there's a puddle. They want to jump in the leaves if they see leaves. They want to touch everything. And that is such a fabulous way for young children to learn about their environment. And when you find that you're indoors more, that ability to meet that need is just not there as much. And bringing in some sensory materials into your home can be a great way to meet that need and really help your child regulate their bodies. If you have attended a class at ECFE or a preschool class, you have probably seen your child play in a sensory table, whether it's water or sand. If you've gone to a park and you see how much your child loves sand, it is such a wonderful way, again, for children's sensory needs to be met. And so this is a simple way. Most people aren't going to have a sensory table in their house. And so what I recommend to families is getting a bin, a reusable bin. I got this one at Walmart. And what I like about this one is it has, when I put the cover on, I can snap it shut. Now, that probably isn't going to prevent even your 1-year-old from getting into it. I fully acknowledge that. But you at least can show them it's closed. You can put a stop sign on it. You can put a close sign on it. And then you'll probably want to tuck it away if you can, or put something on top of it so it is not something that they're going to continue to grab at. A trick that I like to do is put a sheet or a tarp underneath it. So as they're playing and they're scooping things out, if it accidentally goes out of the tub, which is likely to happen when they're 1 and 2, it doesn't it's not going to make the whole house a mess. Now, when they're really little and they're getting used to this, they might take this scoop and try and walk around your home with it. And so just continue to bring them back and show them, nope, it stays in the bin. They can learn that. It might take a while and it might start to feel like you're saying that a lot, but they are capable of learning that. In this particular sensory bin, I just have some simple scoops that I just can get out of a kitchen area. I believe these scoops came from laundry. The material that I have in here is they're animal oats. So this is actually what sheep and goats and horses would eat. And that may seem a little silly, but the reason I choose animal oats and recommend it is because it's very relaxing. As I'm putting my hands in here, I'm hearing it fall. I'm feeling it through my fingers. It's a very calming activity, and I see that in kids when they're playing with it too. Now, when kids have played with sensory material like this, you are probably, you might be able to package it up and put it away until you're ready to use it again, or you might decide that you're done with it. With animal oats, you can put it outside for deer to eat. You could donate it to a farm, and they would be able to use it. I don't recommend using food items such as rice, even though that can feel really good on their hands. It feels much like the oats. The problem is it then teaches kids that food can be used to play, and that it doesn't help them know that that's food for other people. And even if your family might have enough rice to play with it, there's other families in our community that wouldn't. And we want to help our kids know that food is a valuable resource. And although this is food, it's food for an animal, and an animal can eat something that people have touched. Different than if we've played in rice, we're not going to cook it up and serve it to our family then. I just got this feed at Hool's, which is actually here in Stillwater, and for a 50-pound bag, I believe it was $12 or $13. Now, I don't have all 50 pounds in here. That's probably going to be too much for you, but you could talk with some friends, see if they want to split a bag, or a few friends actually, or you can get something else like it. Maybe you want to get some sand that you put in a table. I do find that sand is a little harder to clean up inside of a home, where these sweep up pretty easily and they vacuum up pretty easily as well. Now, besides the scoops, I'm going to take some of these out because your child, they might use the scoops for weeks and weeks and weeks and love that. But you might get to a point where you notice that they're ready for something different. Maybe they're starting to always pour it out when they weren't before, or maybe they're starting to dump it on their brother's head, or doing something with it that just doesn't feel as productive as what you may have observed in the beginning. And that helps you know that they're ready for something else. And so you can pull those out, wash those up, and you can try some other things. You could get a funnel. Now, this particular funnel is made more for water and small particles like sand. It's not great for oats, but you could get a funnel that would be bigger for that. So if that is something that you're going to purchase, I would just look to see that it has a big enough funnel, or even funnels that you use in cooking in your kitchen. So look around in your kitchen and see, what would I be comfortable with my child using in here? Could they use some pots and pans? Obviously, you'll want to wash them before you cook with them again, but that would be a great thing that they would love to use. Kids love to use what their grown-ups use. I'm sure you've seen that numerous times. Here's an example, right? It's just a simple measuring cup, and just what a great thing for them to be able to pour. You could put some little bowls in here. Maybe they're pouring on there. Another activity that you could put in here could be maybe some pretend animals, and maybe it becomes where they're doing some pretend play in there. You could just look to see what else might be around your house. For example, I have in my classroom, I have some tree cookies that I had cut up when we had a fallen tree, and the animals could climb on top of there. If you're out on a walk with your child, you could look for some other nature items that maybe you want to bring in and add to it. So here's a little tree, here's a pine cone that I'm gonna set in here, and just see what your child does with it. One thing that I don't want to forget to point out is your child, if they're one, or if they are neurodivergent, they may think that this is food, even though it's not food for them. So just stay close as you're first watching them play with it. So if they start to put it in their mouth, you can tell them, nope, it's not food, it's to play with. It's best to tell them what they can do with it instead of what they can't do. And so you can say icky, and then, oh, it's to play, you can pour it. And trying to think if there's, this is what I was gonna show you too. If you don't wanna get a tub this big, and you're just looking around your house, if you have something like this could work too. You could just even put water in here. Just know that if it's this size, it probably isn't going to be very conducive for more than one kid to play with. So if you have 2 or 3 or 4 kids, this bin is probably going to be more successful. And this bin would certainly be great for one kid as well. I think that might be all. So here's what I would do. If my child was done with it, say this is what they were playing with next to me while I was cooking up dinner, and now it's time to go eat, I would say, bye-bye toys, bye-bye oats, put the cover on, it's closed, bye-bye. And then I would probably have them help me push it wherever it's gonna go to be put away. Maybe it's gonna go in a corner with something on top of it. Maybe it's going to go under the couch. Maybe it's gonna go under a bed. Wherever you're gonna put it, you can just help them be a part of that, and then they just know we're all done now, bye-bye. Again, you may not need to do all of that if your child is 3 or 4 or 5, but those are some words if they are younger. Anyways, happy sensory play. I think it will be something your child will love this winter, and it will definitely buy you some time. So you have time to focus on some other things, so you're ready for them when you're ready to go outside, or you're ready for whatever next activity that you're going to do with them. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have an enjoyable time playing with your kiddos.